Hi there, I'm going to teach you today how to convert HTML to PDF using n8n and a free tool that it's called Gotenberg. And to show out how to use that, I'm going to actually use a real use case where we're going to generate an SEO Audit report through any site that you want using AI and this Gotenberg. So let's jump right in. First, this is the n8n workflow we're going to be using today. I left this template on the description. It's free for you to use, so it's easier. Over here, you have all the instructions on how to use everything, but we're going to go through every step of it. But first, how we're going to convert HTML to PDF. We're going to use an open source library that's called Gotenberg. You can actually go to the Gotenberg site as gotenberg.dev. And over here, they have a huge documentation on how to do everything. We're not going to go through the documentation over here. We're going to go on a practice on our n8n workflow. And how is the workflow set up to? First, we use a form submission to accept a URL for a site that we're doing the audit. After that, we have this HTTP request that we're only doing a GET request on this URL to fetch the whole HTML from this URL so we can analyze this. After that, I have an agent that I sanitize the HTML, so I use less tokens to do that. And I also have a system prompt here ready for you to generate this SEO report. And the AI agent is going to output HTML, so we can then convert it to PDF using Gotenberg. Okay, so it's a pretty straightforward workflow. I'm not going to go through all the details on each part here. Let's just focus on the Gotenberg part, which is the most important part to convert HTML to PDF for free. So basically, there's three ways you can use Gutenberg. One, I would only suggest to use as a testing way, which is over here. If you go to the Gutenberg documentation, getting started, installation, they do have an API endpoint over here that you can test. It only accepts like 2 requests per second, so it's not a production ready usage, but you can use that for to try and see how Gutenberg works. Another way you could use Gotenberg is to actually install it in your n8n Docker using your Doc Composer. So that's an alternative when you're using Docker Compose to use a self-hosted version of n8n. So if you have access to your Docker Compose, all you have to do, oops, all you have to do is add this part over here. Oops, is add this part over here on your Docker Compose, and your Gutenberg should be ready at the 300 endpoint. So just like this one. Okay. And a third way, my personal favorite is actually deploying this to Google Cloud Run in a serverless environment. With that, you can generate PDFs at scale. It auto scales for you. You don't have to deal about having to configure your Docker Compose on how everything impacts on one another. And also, you only pay for the requests that you're generating, and it's really, really cheap to do so. So I'm going to go first to how to send to convert the HTML to PDF, and then I'll go to show you how do we set up this Google Cloud Run. It's really, really easy to do as well. So yeah, so how to send Gutenberg conversion. So as I said, I'm using for testing their demo endpoint. If you're using Docker Compose, it will be something like this. So you can generate the PDF. There you go. And this is the endpoint we're going to be using, the convert HTML to PDF endpoint. So some things that are important is to insert content type here, multi-part from data. And you have to, one field, it's actually mandatory to send, which is an HTML file, a binary HTML file that we're going to be sending here. But you can also send a lot of different things, like you can send configurations for the margins, you can change metadata from the PDF, you can save it as a pdf.s/a version. Everything is on the Gutenberg documentation over here. I'm not going to go through all this process. I'm just going to do the basic step of I have an HTML, I want to convert it to a PDF. Uh, the AI agent over here generated an output, which is an HTML. And over here, I convert this HTML into a binary data that's called index.html. This is mandatory for Gutenberg, okay? It has to be called index.html in order for it to work. But let's see this workflow in progress. So over here, I already signed up with the pdfnoodle.com, which is my website URL. Over here, I extracted the whole HTML from the site, and the agent is now figuring out, okay, where I'm doing this SEO analysis to generate the final HTML to generate the report. Instead of using the HTTP request to extract the HTML, you can also use a few different tools here, like Firecrawl or any other open source tool to actually extract data that better extracts data from websites. For instance, if you have like a really heavy JavaScript loaded site here, it's possible that you would be able to extract the HTML here. But this is only like an example for you on how to convert your HTML to PDF. So the agent's working, doing analysis and generating the final PDF. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit so you don't keep waiting while it does. Go. So the AI agent just generated the output with the HTML of the SEO report. Over here, we're converting the HTML into a binary file called index.html. And over here, the Gotenberg just generated the PDF, converting this HTML file into a PDF file that I can download over here. And there you go. This is the final version that he just generated. This one I generated before, and this one just was generated. And yeah, you can see there's a full analysis and a well-formatted PDF report here, only using Gotenberg, which should be free if you're using Docker Composer, or almost free if you're using Cloud Run, since it's really cheap to run these things on Cloud Run. So last thing I'm going to do is show you how to configure this on Cloud Run and test it out so we can see how to do it in a production level instead of using this demo endpoint here to test. So first things first, go to Google Cloud Console. If you don't have account created, just create one. You also need to have a billing set up in order to use Cloud Run, because if you actually spend money on requests, you have to pay. So all you have to do here is type Cloud Run. Once you are here, you can select deploy container. You can use this deploy one revision from an existing container image. All I have to do is go to Gotenberg on installation. Over here, he has Cloud Run for you to insert. So all you have to do is copy this image URL and paste it here. Okay, you can choose the region closest to you. I don't care where I'm going to be generated over here. And yeah, let's allow public access for the test. If you can require authentication later if you want to. Okay, this is a minimum of 1, maximum of 3. Auto scaling, you could leave to manual scaling as well, doesn't matter. One thing that you should configure here, and that's recommended from the Gotenberg documentation, is you should have at least 1 GB of memory if for a better experience using the conversion. So 1 GB CPU, and also change the end container port here from 8880 to 3000. 3000 or 330. It's 3000, yeah. There you go, and now all we have to do is create. It's creating a service right now. And don't worry about it, I'm going to delete this right after, so everyone won't have access to this URL. But let's just copy this so we can test it out over here. So over here, slash, we're going to be using the same endpoint, forms chromium convert HTML, and all we're changing is this URI here. So let's just fix this output, so I don't actually send another request in an AI agent to show you how it's going to be when I convert over here. Let's see if it's done. Okay, so this is completed right now, and it's up and running. So if you go here and execute, you should see a success. And now my own application on Cloud Run generated this PDF for me, and it's an auto scale. It's really, really cheap. It's like a fraction of a cent to generate each PDF. So you shouldn't be worrying about anything I had to pay on this Google Cloud Run. So it's almost cheap, almost for free. And yeah, that's it. A couple of things that you might consider is if you want to replicate like exact templates every time, as you can see on the PDFs that are generated over here, they won't be the same every time because the AI can generate like different formats every time you need to generate. So if you're looking for a solution that can, at the cheap price, also generate a lot of PDFs, but your PDFs to be standardized and with a quality level equal to or even better than this one generated by Claude. I'm using the latest model over here, by the way, the Opus Claude 4.6. I would suggest that you take a look at PDF Noodle. It's already integrated with n8n. It's really cheap as well for you to use. It's a really robust tool, and all you have to do is type PDF over here. You can see PDF Noodle, and all you have to do is generate PDF synchronously over here. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys like this tutorial on how to generate HTML to PDF for free or almost for free using Cloud Run. And that's it.